Welcome back, guys. This is going to be the 7th part of our video tutorial series. And in our 6th part, we were writing some code related to edit product category. We were able to basically set the whatever value of that category name was, or whatever the detail and stuff like that. So today, as I told you last time, we'll be writing a code. We'll be seeing the code, how to all the steps that is needed to update this data. For example, we would like to change this data, and then we would like to click this button right here. Okay, and as I told you in last video, I would like to have a validation here also. I have already done that part, the validation, the same common validation I shared. It works fine. So now we'll be saving this edited data to backend server. Okay, so to do that, so this is how I'm gonna start. In the markup, as you can see, in edit product category right here, I have a method called for ngClick. I have a method called edit product category, okay, which you can see in the controller. This controller here, all this code, this if part up to here, is all for the validation, the required field validation. And here, if the validation is okay, it comes into else part. That's where we'll be writing our code. Okay, since we have our service here, we have injected the service into our controller called product category service. Let's try to use this guy. The product category service, in that service, I'm going to expose a method called update product category. Update product category, and that guy, the method, going to take two parameters. You're going to take scope product category, and which is basically these two pieces of information that I need to update when the user clicks edit product category button. And the second parameter is basically I need to obtain this ID right here. So how do I obtain that? Because remember, like, if you have been following along, we have written a method in the service. We can use that method to get that ID. This is the method, and of course this guy is inside the product category service. And of course this is a method, right? So we pass those two pieces of information, and then if success, some data comes out from the server, and we'll do something, then here inside the success callback function, we'll say if the data is defined, right? That's what it means. And then data has a property called status, and then data.status equals to successful. This would tell us that server basically returns some data to us. If all this information is good, and here we're gonna say we're gonna call this method called display message. Okay, let me show you what this display message method does. I have this little private method called display message right here. Remember, this is our message object here. It contains two properties, contains successful message. By default, set it to false, and the message is set as an empty string. When this method gets invoked, we basically set it to true, so that our green banner with the successful message would be displayed. That's the whole idea. That's what I'm trying to achieve. Of course, at this point, we just assuming we have all this method defined in our service. None of those things are done, right? So now next thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and write this method into our service. Okay, this our part of our controller is done. Now I'm going to go into my service product category service. In here I'm going to write a method. The name of the method is going to be update product category, and this guy going to take two parameters, as you can see. The first parameter is the product category ID, a product category, and second parameter is product category ID. Okay. And just for now, just to make sure, you know, it can call. Okay, I'm going to say console.log some information here. Okay, this object will have a property called product category. Let me look into my controller. What's the name of that property? Okay, it's a category name. That is that, and then this would at least, you know, give us the correct. If this prints out the correct value in the console log, then we can be sure that, you know, category details, and this is of course just going to be the product category ID. If all this this is a function. Sorry for that, guys. Okay, this is all we can do. And then if everything is good, you know, we of course, you know, this one will be, we need to post the three pieces of information: category name, category details, and the ID to the server side. We'll be using the post in this case. So we have already sample post how we did it. We just basically can do something like this. So we're gonna come in here, and we're gonna say Angular HTTP, and we're gonna post to the endpoint. Of course, at this point we don't have an endpoint defined for the update product category. Of course, this node, this endpoint right now doesn't exist, so we will have to define it. We have to do the configuration in our backend server side. Okay, and we're going to pass the category name and the category details as that, and then of course last parameter that we have to pass is the product category ID. And of course this value comes out from here. Let me align it together. Okay, so now we have our service defined. Okay, we can start testing, I think, because we can at least see some values in here. Of course, but we'll have a server-side error. That is okay. We'll fix it later. Okay, if I refresh this page now, and then if I just, of course, just push this one. Well, I want to see the response in the console. So go into developer tools. This is good. You know, like what this one is. Let's say I modify this value. Oh, I don't mean to. Control-Shift-I. I should remember that next time. Okay. See, this our new value right here is for the category name, and this one is for the details, and the 16 is the primary key that we need. Everything, all the data that we need to pass to the server side is now there, because that is available because we have the console.log here, right? That is good, but at the same time it is also giving a nice information. Hey, failed to load the resource because, you know, of course that resource doesn't exist, and because it's the server return status for a fault not found, which is good. So, and if we look at into the server side log, it should be exactly the same. That not found. See right here, it's the update product category is 404. That 404 is for, of course, it cannot find the update, that node, that endpoint. Okay, that's the next thing we're going to do. We're going to define it. So that is so far so good. So we wrote our controller, we wrote our service to all our data that we want to send out to the server is coming out properly in our AngularJS, and we are ready to post this data to the backend server. Let's go ahead and define this route into. I'm going to close this one and now go into this product category route config. And just like we did for the other, the get product category, but we need a very similar kind of route here. So I'm going to copy this one, okay? And we'll modify this as we go ahead. And here, of course, we are not rendering anything similar to this. Instead, okay, right here in this particular route, as you can see, that this route is going to be post. We are posting those three data to our server, and then, as we said, we're gonna write a route called update product category. So we're gonna change that name, and we also update product category. This is all we have to do. We don't need to define this. Okay. Now, when we post it, and then of course right now we acquire this on line number 140. We need the DAO object. We'll be using this one, and here we're going to say update product category. And when we do this, we need to pass three pieces of information. In this particular case, how do we obtain this one? We're going to say request body dot. Let me see, how did I pass this one? Okay, it's going to be a category name. And the second parameter I would like to have here is body dot the details. That's going to be the second parameter that will be posting to our server, and the last parameter is body dot the ID that we need. This is going to be a product category ID. Of course, there are so many ways to do it, but this is one of the way, okay? And finally, we're going to pass our callback function. In here, it's not going to return the product categories because it's just the update. I'm going to say it's going to return object, some sort of status object, okay? Status JSON object. And then if we want to see what we'll decide what we're going to return. And then if everything is good, this status for now, just return that status. The status by itself is going to be a JSON object. We'll decide how to do it. Okay, now we have our endpoint also defined. At the same time, I just want to make sure these values are coming out. Okay, if you want to know what they are, I can just do I can do console.log here. Okay. Now our server-side endpoint is also defined. Of course, we don't have this method in our DAO called update product category. We'll have to write it. We'll write that later. But as soon as we need at this point, because now we have our endpoint defined, it should come in here, it should print this, and then you try to call this method which doesn't exist in this object. It's gonna say, hey, what are you doing? I don't know, because this object doesn't really exist. This is where our failure should occur in server side if everything is good. Okay, let's go ahead and test it. Let's view some products here. I'm going to edit and do some changes here. And what's going on? Okay, that is good. See, this is the type of error I wanted to see. And this one is saying, hey, and so connection, added new category. It says like the function. See this one, this is the value that we wanted to see. This that we wanted to see, that's that value right here. You cannot see it, but this value is went out to the server side, and that's what the console is saying. And it's saying, hey, I don't have a method defined, so that's where it's the failure occurred. That's really good. That's the next thing we're gonna go ahead and fix it. Okay, so everything is working as we wanted it to work. So of course now we have to go into our DAO object. So we need to write the method in there. So go into our product category DAO, and we're going to define. We have already get create huge amount of method here, so we're going to add one more method, and we're going to name it as we wrote it there. It's going to be update product category, and of course it is a function. And this function takes 3 parameters. And we're just going to say, get rid of this category name, this for detailed information, and this is the product category ID. Okay, we have a function that takes 3 parameters, and also it also takes the callback function, the last parameter. Callback function, callback, just say callback. And then let's see, we can use same signature as one of the existing methods. Of course we'll have to change it, but we need a connection. We have to close the connection. The idea is very same. Okay, here is this in line number 91. We basically acquire the connection. The statement is going to be different now. Update. What we're updating is the product category, and we're going to set category name equals to whatever value comes out from there. And I don't know what. Let me just look it into my MySQL database for a while. Okay. I think this is my database. Okay, so yeah, this is the category name is the one, and the detail is the other one. Okay, cool. Update product categories, set category name equals to that, and the second parameter, second value details is equals to whatever. Where I need a where clause, of course, and ID, and these are all the placeholder. So here, this is going to be my query update query statement, and the first parameter I'm going to pass for this array is going to be category name. The second parameter would be details, and finally the product category ID. And of course, the last parameter is going to be the callback function for this method called query. And I handle the error. And then if instead of returning rows, I can say something like, if rows, if there is a data in the rows and there is no error, I can be sure things are going good. So I can do something like in my callback, I can invoke the callback and give the JSON like status equals to successful or something like that. Okay, this is all we have to do. As you can see, the method is very simple. All we did, we changed our from select to update, and of course we need to know these three different parameters. That's why we have a placeholder, the question mark, and we pass the required first parameter, the SQL statement. The second is the array of offset that we need to pass in the sequential order, and the callback function, and we handle the error right here. And then if everything is good, it should do a callback, and this callback would signify us that things are going good. Update has occurred, and that we notify to our clients. That should basically do it. Let's go ahead and start testing for this one now. Let me close everything and start the server here. Okay, let's choose the okay, some more changes. Make it bigger. Edit product category. Whoa. Wow, it says it's updated the product category. That is super sweet. That is awesome. That is cool. But we just want to verify that everything worked okay. Let's go into view product category. Oh, look at that. So you can see the changes is right away. It's occurring. Let's test it very thoroughly. Let's go ahead and create a new product category. Awesome computer science books, whatever. Every developer have. Haha. Okay, guys, whatever. Just Okay, we have just added a new record, and I'm going to go ahead and view. This will be always on the top. It's coming here. Let's go ahead and edit that record. Of course, the awesome computer science books. Awesome computer science books. Are really awesome. Go ahead and change it. It said it is updated successfully. Let's verify it. Ha! Look at that. This is really cool. One more thing I want to do. I haven't remember in my database I have a field called modified date. I want to update that information also. I want to know when if user modified that one. I want to keep track of that one. So let's do one more thing, and then so the modified date is one of the columns. So I'm going to say modified date equals to question mark, and then of course when I want this can be a category name and detail. The third parameter right here, I'm going to pass new date, today's date, and the last parameter is a product category ID. Just by doing that, we also start saving the modified date into our backend database. It's a good for tracking what people are doing right in our system. Let me close this one and run it again. The new instance of the application. Okay, that is cool. So view product category, and I'm going to edit again. Okay, when I do this one, if I say it is updated successfully, because I didn't pull out a modified date, but I can just say select product category where modified date is not null. Oh, modified date is not null. For some reason, it didn't update our modified date. Date from the product category. Okay, why this field didn't get updated? That's weird. Okay, it's a modified date. Details new instance of date. Category name is the details. Modified date where see right here I have the extra commas here. Sorry for that, guys. That is I'm pretty sure that might be the reason for it. If I run it again, it should be able to update that information also. View product category and edit. More changes. Record updated successfully, and if I run this query again, even previous query, look at that, at least one is coming out. See, it is the product category where modified date is not null. As you can see, there is one record that has, and we can also see right here, this record, this last record right here is updated successfully. That is cool. That is all out there to do edit. It's very simple. Of course, you know, I don't have really complicated example for the demo purposes, but you know, using this method you can write all kind of query, all kind of CRUD operation. Okay guys, that is all I have for this tutorial. For next time I will be I'll be showing you how to do a delete portion of this CRUD operation. Thank you so much.